I'm here. Let's get it. Y'all wanted me? You got me. You wanted to do it live? Then let's do it live. We doing Mikey Garcia and my man's. We're gonna get to that. But we got brass tacks to get to right now. Because everybody been hitting me up. Charlemagne innocent. Charlemagne's innocent. You would start owe him an apology. So we finna get to all of it. Oh yeah. We are gonna get to all of it. Oh yeah. Now, in case you guys have been under a rock, Charlemagne the God has been going through it. He been going through a thing for about a month now. The whole month of July, he's been going through it since this interview broke. And right now, they said we have a bad signal. Can you believe that? All of a sudden, we have a bad signal. Ain't that crazy? I have fiber internet cable, but we have a bad signal. Oh, now they say this the signal's health is good. Okay. It went from bad to good just that fast. Okay. We getting there now. Well, everyone wants to be in the defense of Charlemagne. And unless you've been under a rock, Charlemagne's been having a hard go at it, ain't he? He's been having a really hard go at it. He's been having a bad day. He's been a really bad boy. Charlemagne the God's DNA not found in victim's rape kit versus Charlemagne the God's DNA not used in rape kit. That's funny because we finna touch down on all of it. I'm just giving people time enough to get in here. And now we're gonna recap because this whole month of July, which is the month of independence, Charlemagne has been fighting for his independence. Now, for the people who don't know, Star from Star in the morning, the Star report from Star and Buck Wow broke this story wide open when he interviewed Jessica Reed. And she said when she was 15 years of age, she was sexually assaulted by Charlemagne the God. She named him personally and said he was her attacker. He got her drunk, gave her some type of liquid, got her knocked out. She did this interview, and next thing you know, it was huge. It was everywhere in the world. People were talking about it. it was massive. Now, and I say now because there's more to come. Now, things flipped around like this. Everything flips. Now we got a massive problem because not only did that come up and get spoken about, this was an audio they had back when he did an interview with DJ Academics. And he talked about the incident, and it was different from the story she gave. Then she did not only talk, she provided paperwork from the police file. And it had a whole different meaning than what he was saying. He said he was 20. The paperwork stated he was 22. And it comes to find out he was 22. He was not 20. He said that he had somebody buy the liquor for him and all that. He was lying in because he was old enough to buy the liquor. So he wouldn't have to get nobody to buy the liquor. So that was a lie. We also heard him lie and say that he only got a few months of probation. He was on probation for 3 years. So that was a lie. So we had 3 major lies already that we know factually is a lie. There's no speculation there. That is a lie. So the question is, now that Charlemagne has been proven out to be a liar, are you willing to believe him now? And this ain't coming from me. It's coming out of his own mouth in the interview he did with Academics. He told 3 major lies, if not more, then the paperwork is not consistent with the lies that he told. So these are facts that we're stating. Now, moving forward, thanks, Sean. Moving forward, that's Sean Green, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, you can always donate in the super chat if you like what you hear, because we finna get into it. You guys been talking about, you gotta go live. Why you ain't going live? Why you ain't going live? What about Charlamagne? He innocent. You scared? I'm here. Now, here's the thing. When this information came out, the interview popped up. Did we hear from Charlamagne? No. Not one word did we hear from Charlamagne. He was quiet as a church mouse. He was like this. Kept doing his show. Kept his mouth shut. Whole week go by. Nothing. Star come back. They got more stuff. Here comes some tweets that he was doing, talking about getting it while they sleep. Wait till she pass out, then go on and get it. All these things Charlamagne tweet is popping up, popping up, popping up. That coincides with what she was talking about. Then comes the rape culture interview. Rape culture interview pops up. And what happens in this rape culture interview? He brags about how he got Spanish fly and drugged the lady and had sex with her. Says she was semi-conscious when he did it. These are very alarming situations. So even if this isn't the girl you're talking about, who's the victim, who's complaining that something happened to her, you're talking about doing this to another person. So now that's even more risque. He didn't say anything then. Then he lawyers up, sends letters of the cease and desist to Star because he's in syndication, sent it to him. Then he goes and have his lawyers and everybody else making sure TMZ don't talk about it, everybody quiet. Then he gonna have them put out a letter saying, I submitted DNA evidence, I was exonerated, these charges are false against me, I'm done. The lawyer comes out, make the statement, that's it. He said nothing, right? Then another one comes up where he's talking as if he raped his wife the first time they had sex. Where him and his wife lied on radio station because he brought his wife on the radio show. You know they groomed him because now his lawyer told him HBO wants you to say something. Because HBO is looking at this now. It's gotten to them. So, and you ain't saying nothing. And we put out a statement already, but this looked bad. And HBO is known for cutting people that look this bad. They don't even wait till it get this long. You cut. So now that's when he gonna go on the radio, on the air, and apologize for how he worded things with his wife. Now he realizes this was wrong. Now because they're talking about coming to take his show. Now, oh yeah, the way I worded that was kind of wrong. And then he brings his wife on the air. The first time he done it in about 20 plus years. Why? Because his life's on the line. So he got his wife on the line. And then she come out and they start lying. And even Angela Yee was going to catch up in the lie. And said that was the first night we kissed too. The first night they had sex. So y'all, you dated her a year and didn't even kiss her? That's what Angela Yee is like, man, you dated a woman for a year and didn't kiss her? What guy sticks around? She's a good woman. Ain't no woman that good, dog. Ain't nobody gonna date no woman for no year and not kiss her. That wasn't part of the script. And when she said that, and Angela Yee was, wow, you didn't kiss her for a year? Then she thought about it. Oh yeah, that's right. It was a year. Then she was, yep, what are you calling me, a liar? You trying to start something, Angie? She's, no, I'm just saying, y'all was together a year and you not even a kiss for a whole year? I got a good woman. And you stuck around a year? Okay. I can see not giving it up for a while. She was really holding it out and she was the one and you was, but not to get a kiss for a year? And you expect grown people to believe this? And you went on the radio and put this on the air. That was a staged lie. I don't believe that. So if I don't believe that, how much more of that was a lie? Then she said, when you first said it to her, she looked at you puzzled because she didn't know why you used the word rape and use it like that. Because he's Charlemagne. He wants to be Howard Stern. He wants to be abrasive. He uses these type of words. But why is it always in that foul stench of a way? Why is it always something negative towards women? Now, we move forward. After this, the damage is still going on. A lot of people ain't buy that interview. And now he's out here saying he apologized. He's looking really bad. Now, all of a sudden, we're in what, week 4? This is like week 4 of this, right? I would say week 4, right? About week 4. So in week 4, we have paperwork that's going to exonerate Charlemagne is the DNA test. It has miraculously showed up in the magic hour of the 4th week. You have the top-notch lawyers across the world. This girl had paperwork. When she did her interview, she had the paperwork released the day of the interview. You had 4 weeks of saying nothing, doing nothing, and the biggest case of your life. And you had no evidence? You had nothing? You wait 4 weeks to provide some evidence? Look, when that girl put her paperwork out, you know what Joe Budden said? You know what they said? And you know what you fans said when that paperwork was out? Man, that's a police report. They only take the person's word for it and start writing it. Writing what they say. Anything could go in a police report. You can't take that. That doesn't count. It's not valid. You can't trust a police report. That's what y'all was saying when she had her police report out. They all one-sided. Doesn't mean that's what happened. So now that Charlamagne dropped this, you know what I'm going to say to you? That's all one-sided. That doesn't mean that's what happened. You like it, right? You like that? You like that, right? Yeah. That ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, is it? Yeah, now your lies don't fit. Now the lies come back to bite you. See that? All that protection and all that stuff, it come right back to bite you. Now, here we go. We got a South Carolina law enforcement division Bossip exclusively obtained the official police documents that states that neither Charlemagne's DNA nor sperm was found after or voluntarily agreed to submit both semen and blood samples to the police for comparison to the alleged victim, Jessica Reed. Okay, first off, the police cannot get semen from you. Okay, I don't know what this person was talking about. No DNA, no sperm. Okay. He volunteered to submit semen and blood. Listen, you're not by law obligated to submit semen. So I don't know what that is. You don't have to give any police semen. Okay? No police have to get semen from you. All right? They don't give you a little cup and put you in a room. That don't happen. If you don't have your DNA and blood test, that's what they can do. They don't need your semen. Then they're gonna say, go on there and jerk off and come in here so we can convict you. That is the dumbest thing you could ever do is submit semen. They will take that semen, put it in somebody, and you're done. Believe me. Now let's start this right from the top. Okay, they got the serology or whatever, DNA analysis. The lab number, the case number, the incident number, the forensic service laboratory. Now, where did they go to get this information? To get it obtained? March 19th, 2002. Rectum swab, no semen identified. Vaginal swab, no semen identified. No analysis performed on the blood. No analysis performed on the saliva. No spermatozoa identified. No semen identified. On the oral swab, no semen, no semen, no semen. So let me tell you something. They didn't do a blood test analysis. That's what it says here. The results of the examination show no analysis performed. There was no blood analysis performed. Okay. Saliva, no analysis performed. Smears, vaginal, oral, rectal, no spermatozoa identified. Vaginal swab, no semen identified. Oral swab, no semen identified. Rectal swab, no semen identified. Suspected semen, no semen identified. So there was no blood analysis done or no saliva done. Okay. Now, here it is. If the suspect was to wear a condom, let's go here and find out right now why I have this here. I'm going to pull this up for you, not for myself. Okay, here it is. DNA testing. If a person is wearing a condom, okay, there are a chance no semen can be found after on a DNA rape kit. Okay. Only thing it could detect is that intercourse had happened. Saliva and blood is always the best test to go. Now people use a rapid stain identification kit. But you got to understand, this happened back in like 2001, dog. This wasn't, yes, there's hair, pubic hairs, and everything else. This was not done on this test. I'm looking at it. They don't say anything about hairs. See, they did not test for hairs. They did blood, saliva, which were not performed. No analysis performed. Now, somebody could tell me what no analysis performed means? Because if they said no analysis performed, that means they didn't do it, right? Saliva, no analysis performed, which means that she probably was contaminated enough to where probably no blood or anything. It was probably no blood at all. So they couldn't go off that. Smears, nose, what they said, spermatozoa identified, whatever. Vaginal swab, no semen identified. Oral swab, no semen identified. Rectal swab, No semen identified. Suspected semen. No semen identified. So, as you can see, all of this proves, because there was no blood, no saliva analysis performed, is that if the person was wearing a condom and you look it up, could they not show for DNA, for semen? And it tells you there is a chance. So it doesn't exonerate people as much as you think. Look, I hope he ain't do it. But where did they obtain this? And why didn't we see it when she had it? Oh, there it is, fingernail scrapings. Nothing of apparent surgical. Okay, well, fingernail scrapings. I mean, it wasn't as, you got to understand. The woman was knocked out. She was intoxicated. She wasn't raped where she was fighting someone. So fingernail scrapings wouldn't even matter. She wasn't fighting the attacker. Do you understand this? This wasn't that type of scenario. No blood analysis performed, no doing this examination. Okay. My thing is, why are people not doing this now? I'm thinking the lawyer did this. Because, see, it don't stop. This is hip hop and it don't stop. Hey, how you doing? This is the South Carolina, uh, what is this? The courthouse or the law enforcement division, right? Okay. I have a question because I'm looking over a file number. It's been made a case number that's made public. I want to know something about this evidence I'm looking at here. If it says for blood and saliva, if it says no analysis performed, does that mean that they didn't perform it at all, even if the person submitted saliva and blood? Okay, when's your business out? Okay, all right, I'll call the lab on Monday. Thank you. All right, bye-bye. So, yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Now, moving on. Now, because there was no traces of blood and saliva found on Jessica, no analysis performed on either party. So they did not find traces of blood and saliva on her. There was no analysis performed. So there's no blood tests to exonerate him. The only thing you have going for you is semen. So if this person used a condom, there is chance that they could not show up in DNA. There wouldn't be any nails or hairs under the skin if the person is passed out. What are they gonna be scraping? Now we go to the medical center record, and this is really weird because in here we have the statement of Charlemagne, his narrative, the one that we said we can't take it. We only have her side of the story. That only tells one side of the story. Well, we have what she said. Now we have what he said. Now the investigating said blank stated that blank continuously told her during the assault who he was so she would remember who she was effing after the assault. Went to the bathroom and began screaming. Blank turned on the lights as he left the room. Other people began coming into the room asking Blank what happened. Blank continued screaming, punched a hole in the wall, and knocked over the television. Oh, they named this guy. When Rose spoke with Blank by telephone, Blank had already left the hospital. She stated that she was not assaulted to her knowledge because when she became aware of her surroundings, she was fully dressed. Blank stated she had been throwing up since at her second drink, and someone took her upstairs, but she did not believe she was assaulted. Blank stated she went looking for her friend. Blank, when she heard her screaming and found her in the bedroom down the hall, screaming and trashing around uncontrollably. When Blank attempted to help Blank up, Blank began lashing out at her and yelling for her to leave her alone. Blank attempted to console Blank by telling her it was Blank and it was going to be okay. Blank was able to help Blank put her clothes on, but couldn't find her shoes or bra. Blank and Blank left the villa and asked someone and they saw outside if they could help use their cell phone. Blank called Blank to Blank and attempted to give Blank directions to where they were so that she can get some help. Blank called 911 and proceeded to tell the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office the location as she received it from Blank. A sexual assault kit was completed by nurse Nora Lee on 6901. The subject, known as Blank, came to the sheriff's office, stated that he had heard that there was an incident that involved his name in regards to a short stay, and he wanted to clear his name. When Rowe questioned Blank about his identity, he stated his real name was Blank, Blank, and Blank was the radio name. Blank is employed with 93.3 radio station when Rowe asked Blank involvement. He stated he had supplied the money for the villa that was rented at the short stay, but Derek Manor, his cousin, had reserved the room since you have to be military to get a villa at short stay. Blank stated that he was not around the villa in question very much because there were several parties going on in the surrounding villas, and he spent most of his time around the corner at other parties and left sometime around 10 p.m. from short stay, not returning until around 2:30 a.m. Upon his return, he saw a couple of cops and decided he would leave. Not knowing what the cops were doing out there, he said he thought it meant trouble of some kind. Blank Blank reiterated when he went by the villa in which Blank and Blank were in, he could hear the girls screaming and laughing as they partied and had a good time. And he did not think he should go inside because it sounded like trouble to him. Blank writing a written statement because he did not want anything in writing Rowe asked blank he would be willing to give a semen specimen at a later date, and stated he would blank state some of the other people at the party in the area were his cousins, Keontae Palmer and Andre Ferguson. Blank stated he had told them they need to come and talk to the sheriff's office to clear their names also. And the rest of this is blank. Now, that ends that. Now, all of that sounds so fabricated, I don't even know where to go. I don't even know where to go with that. That whole thing looks fraudulent as anything I've ever seen in my life. So we're gonna double back because I'm thinking I'm mixing myself up here. And if you want to follow this and read it as I go along, if you buy your PC, it's on bossip.com in case you want to see the evidence. Here's what I don't understand. The incident happened on 6/9/01. The test has March 21st. That's what it looks like, March 21st, 2002, for the DNA and blood test. Why would it take that long? And why would it be timestamped for March 21st, 2002? That's almost a year later. Here it is again, March 19, 2002. It takes 8 months for you to get the results back? I'm not saying that's something fishy. I'm just saying I don't know. I literally just don't know. There might be a law that take them a while for they can do that, but why is it time stamped so far away from the incident? It is signed and dated March 19, 2002, written in signature by the person who did the results of the test. So it took 9 months for them to get the DNA test. It's time stamped. I'm just saying, 9 months? What, they were waiting on a baby? A baby could be made and hatched by then. Somebody could make a baby and have a baby right there. It take them 9 months to do the test. This is not. This doesn't coincide with. This does not coincide with what they were saying in the interview. He's saying from the moment Charlemagne said he went down to the interview to the police station and volunteered this information. He volunteered and he was like he went down there because he heard they was looking for him. and they went down there and did all this in one day. And you mean to tell me it took to August for him to actually come down to the station? He said he went right away the next day. This is out of his own mouth. Now, who's lying? Somebody's telling us a lie around here. Remember, he said, oh, they had my cousin. He's like, I get down there, they ain't got my cousin. People told me they had my cousin. So now, you mean to tell me they waited 8 months to bring him in August? That what y'all telling me? That don't make sense. 9 months later for a DNA test, and the paperwork is dated March of 2002. I don't know how long it takes to do a DNA test. I don't know. But I don't know if it takes 9 months to do this whole Rick Kit thing. I don't know. I'll look it up. But I'm telling you, I'm just looking at the paper right now in front of me. The case happened in 2001. The test results saying March 2002. What in the world is going on? What kind of frogger bull crap is this? With this automatic fake story that they put into this so-called documented report. This police report, now this is what I want y'all to understand. The police report that you're looking at now, that's got the testimony supposedly of Charlemagne, is 6/11/01. (6/11/01). In the 6/11, he said he would be willing to give a semen specimen at a later date. And he stated that he would blank some of the other people at the party in the area. This does not look like this thing was created on 6/11/01. This looked like it was created in 7/11/2018. Sorry, I'm not buying this. This whole thing that they cooked up right here is made to match the DJ Academics interview. And it makes it look so ridiculous. Sorry, I'm not buying it. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It don't stop there. No, no, no. I swear, I wish I had their lawyers. I wish I could afford Charlemagne's lawyers. Y'all are very good at your jobs. I wish I could afford you guys. Here it is. Leon Dane, one of Charlemagne's lawyers, has a declaration. Mysterious. All this appears all at once. Now, the girl in the video, the one where he talked about he gave the Spanish fly to, this is in connection with this now. Now, they have a declaration from this person who he apparently had sex with. She writes a declaration stating that she consented to getting Spanish fly in her drink. She consented to the sex. And they have a declaration, which, for y'all don't know what a declaration is. A declaration declares as follows. It is a legal piece of paper to basically legally bind the fact that she's saying she's okay, that she got Spanish fly, and that they had sex, and she was aware that they had sex, and that she was okay with everything that went on down. Now, figuring that we don't know who this imaginary woman is, meaning that they could grab any woman they want in the face of this earth, says she had sex with Charlemagne, There's no evidence to ever prove that. All she has to do is say, okay, I had some Spanish fly. Yeah, I know he gave it to me. And we had sex, and I'm cool with it. Sign here. Okay. And that's done. Please. This is amateur now. What here's the dumb part about it. Here's the part that doesn't even make sense. What human being on the face of this earth says, oh, give me some of that Spanish fly? Who people who get Spanish fly, they don't get it so they can drink it. They get it so somebody else can drink it. So what does a person who's getting Spanish fly, the whole purpose of them getting that is to give it to somebody else? So how's she gonna be like, I'm cool with being Spanish flied? I'm quite sure I've never met a human being on the face of this earth who said, oh, can you go get some of that Spanish fly and put it in my drink? Oh, I love that. Give me some Spanish fly. Are they nuts? Who's gonna believe this crap? They are trying to push over on us. So now he's supposed to be exonerated. That's what when we supposed to we owe him an apology. Somebody owe me an apology for trying to dupe me with this stuff. Y'all owe me this embarrassment is an apology enough. They're doing everything they can, and I applaud their lawyers. I applaud them for this effort. That declaration was something. I must admit, that declaration was something. My thing is, why you didn't have this declaration when it happened? Why do you wait till now? Why come he didn't grab her and put her on the radio show? He could have called her up like he called his wife and put her on the radio show, right? Why y'all didn't do that? See what I'm saying about this garbage, these lies? I'm quite sure the Breakfast Club would have loved to get some hits off that. You think they couldn't use the hits? Why ain't put her on the show? Oh yeah, and don't forget, hit the super chat button, please. Go ahead, donate to your boy, man. Show some love around here. You getting jewels around here. I'm breaking the case down. I'm like Columbo. So you said it took 9 months to get the DNA test. So it took you 8 months to build up enough semen to submit it in August. So even if you submitted it in August, it took that long to get the test back. You must have some amazing semen, sir. Thank you, Mr. Sledge. I appreciate that. I'm not snitching. They sent all this information out to us. Here's the declaration. I, Leo Dang, declares as follows. I am legal counsel to Leonard McKelvey, PKA Charlemagne the God. I have personal knowledge of the facts stated herein, and if called to testify, I could and would complimently testify thereto under oath. So the lawyer says that he is now a witness if called to testify. 2, on July the 23rd, 2018, July 23rd, y'all. That's what, 4 days ago? Okay. So on July 23rd, 4 days ago, 2018, I reached out by phone to speak with the woman who is referenced by Mr. McKelvey in the Brilliant Idiots podcast with Andrew Schultz, dated on September the 9th, 2015, the podcast. Prior to that conversation, this individual was contacted by Mr. McKelvey's manager to ensure she would be willing to speak with me freely. She did not object. Three, at the outset of the call, I asked her if she had been following the recent news regarding Mr. McKelvey, to which she replied yes. I then asked her if there was any truth to the podcast, and she began to provide me the details of the evening described in the podcast and her interactions with Mr. McKelvey. Four, following the call, I prepared a sworn declaration based upon the information she disclosed during the call and sent it to her for review. She reviewed the declaration and provided minimal changes, which were then incorporated. She also asked that her name be kept out of the media and confidential. You should work for Trump, dog. Five, after acknowledging that the revised declaration was accurate, she signed the document and returned it to me. I then redacted the declaration solely to remove her name. Attached hereto as Exhibit 1 is a true and correct copy of the declaration. Six, at no time did I or anyone else offer a consideration in exchange for the declaration, nor did she request any consideration. I did offer to reimburse her for the out of pocket FedEx costs to print and fax the declaration and FedEx delivery costs, both of which she declined. I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of California and the United States that forego is true and correct. Executed this day of 27th of July 2018, Los Angeles, California. Long day. Well, whatever. And here is the declaration as follows. Here it is, the redacted, of course. Blank. I blank declares as follows. I am the legal age of 18, and the following facts are my personal knowledge. I make this statement on my own, free of will, in support of Leonard McKelvey, aka Charlemagne the God. I have neither asked for, been offered, or received any consideration for my statement, nor will I in the future ask for any consideration for this statement. The only thing I request in order to protect my own privacy is that my name be redacted from any version of this declaration provided to the media and that my name be kept out unless I otherwise consent in writing. I am the individual who is referenced by Mr. McKelvey in the Brilliant Idiots podcast with Andrew Schultz, dated September 9, 2015. I understand that various media sources and others are attempting to misrepresent what is said in the podcast and what actually happened between myself and Mr. McKelvey. I make this declaration for the purpose of setting the record straight to clear my name and reputation to end once and for all the false statements being spread about Mr. McKelvey. To be clear, Mr. McKelvey and I had a personal, intimate relationship over 15 years ago. On one occasion, we purchased and consumed the aphrodisiac called Spanish fly, along with alcohol. But we both did so willingly and consensually. At no time did Mr. McKelvey ever engage in any conduct towards me to which I did not consent, and it was in which I was not a willing participant, nor was I so impaired in his presence to that the extent that I did not know what I was doing or to which I lost the ability to consent. Despite others' interpretation of what was said in the podcast, I was never incoherent or did not experience any periods of blackout when we were together. I have always respected Mr. McKelvey as a decent and good person, and I believe he has always treated me with similar respect. I declare under penalty and perjury under the laws of the United States that is foregoing and is true and correct. Executed on this day of July 23rd, 2018 in Charlotte, North Carolina. Mm, mm, mm. So now, this is kind of crazy. So in her statement that's coming from this lady, all right, let's go over this thing because my face got confused as I was reading it because I saw something that didn't make sense to me. Now let's go back to what didn't make sense. Now, what didn't make sense to me is she said that we purchased and consumed Spanish fly with alcohol. We both did so willingly and consensually. So Charlemagne, now I got to go back to that interview because I can swear to God, he never mentions the fact that he took Spanish fly. That I remember, did he say that? Did he say me and her went and got Spanish fly together? This is damage control I've ever seen. My goodness. I don't, who would they think gonna believe this stuff? That's what I'm like, who would believe this? Who would believe a woman would talk like that? I understand the lawyer went and did some rewriting so that it would be approved, but who would believe this? They both wanted to drink some Spanish fly together. Everyone else took it out of context. The man said it right out of his mouth. What did we take out of context? Everybody's twisting his words. What did we twist? They just played the audio. Nobody edited it. They played it as it was. He said it. Oh my God. Some people are really nuts. I mean, my goodness, if somebody tell you, man, I stabbed the bee. But then be like, man, you played that dude said he stabbed the bee. Hey, you ain't said he said she was a nice woman and was very cute before he stabbed the bee. Why you didn't say that? You cut that out. The point of the subject was he stabbed the bee. Do you think we care about how his state of mind was, how he felt about what he did or what he did? Smoke and mirrors, you ain't lying. My gosh, this is an amazing job. This is an amazing damage control job I have ever seen. And you think I owe them an apology? All I do is give you what they give me. They put this out, I gave it to y'all, and I gave my thoughts. I have not once said that this man did it. All I did is say this man was a liar. And I guarantee you, if you ask Star and you say, Star, did you say this man did this? No. He interviewed the girl. That's what he did. He asked the question, she answered. He pointed out the fact that Charlemagne was lying the same way I did. That's how me and him end up basically I'm on his live chat because I'm like, hey, we think alike in this situation. Somebody's telling us a lie, but we want to know why. Why are we being lied to? That's all. So now that I've explained everything to you guys who are watching this live, and you guys have seen everything live, I just went through it, the whole thing. What is your take on it? You are the people. You guys determine how this thing goes. What is your take? I mean, do you believe this evidence they presented? Hmm. It looks like no. No one's buying this. No one is buying what they lawyer is putting out. Now, if you want my thing over here. Oh, thanks, Burundi. Yeah, the goof behind it. Now, here's my take on it. From all the stuff that's been presented right now, something happened with that woman who was 15 years old. I believe she was sexually assaulted. Do I believe he did it? I don't know. That I don't know. But is there a reasonable doubt not to believe him? Absolutely. Because he's lying on a lot of things and telling his story. And the reason why we know he's lying because it came out of his own mouth. Now, if you tell us lies in an interview and it doesn't match up in the paperwork, anywhere they go, they're gonna be like, well, somebody's not being truthful here because it's not matching up. You lied about your age. You lied about how you got the liquor. You lied about a lot of things. You didn't get 3 years probation just for liquor, providing liquor for minors. You get 3 years of probation. You lied about how much time you got for probation. You forgot it was 3 years? Oh, it's just a couple months. Couple months? 3 years? 3 years of probation, dog. It says that, and you pled to it. That's what we know. So we know you pled out, you pled guilty and took 3 years of probation for liquor. You provided liquor and for an underage person. Somebody check the record. Where do you get 3 years probation for that? Providing alcohol to minors will give you 3 years of probation? Where? That's a fine. Because you know why it was 3 years of probation? Because something else was in the drinks. And if you read this statement, it says that that could provide harm, that were harmful to the plaintiff. So it wasn't just alcohol they were drinking. And you pled guilty to that. So yes, you were lying. So we know that this woman was sexually assaulted. I believe she was sexually assaulted. I believe that. I believe Charlamagne is lying. He's told inaccuracies. Did I ever say he raped this girl? Do I believe he did? I don't know. I don't want to believe he did. I really don't. But I know he's told us lies. That's one thing that's factual. He has definitely lied throughout this thing. We don't know what is the truth with him and what is a lie because he has been lying. Now, we move forward to the other situation, the radio show where he brags about how he gave the girl Spanish fly and she was in and out of it, incoherent. His audio doesn't match her statements. So somebody's lying. And who is she? She's a mystical, magical person that we don't know exists. He never named her. She could be anybody. So any lawyer can grab any girl and say these lies and write a declaration to keep her name out so she never has to testify. If this girl was real and this girl was on his side like that, all he have to do is have her. Charlamagne would have put her on the radio station. He just put his wife up there. His wife didn't write a declaration. She went on the radio station. Why? Because she's real. And if she's so much in your corner, wouldn't it do better for your persona if she was on the air than writing a letter or declaration? She could have been anonymous on the air too. But you didn't want her on the air because you didn't want her answering questions. That was going to get her jammed up and get caught up in the lie. You see, I don't like to be lied to. If you lie to me in one instance, how can I believe you in something else? If 6ix9ine would tell me, I just got shot, I can't believe him. I don't care. If he showed me a bullet hole in his chest, I wouldn't even believe him. I'd be like, man, that is fake. Call the cops. I already been shot. Treyway. I can't believe him. I cannot believe him. I can't believe nothing that guy says. It's my birthday today. I'll be like, it's not your birthday. You're right, I lied. Treyway. So you can't believe anything this dude says. So if that guy is lying on this, I just can't believe him. I can't just give him a pass and say, oh, I can't even believe the paperwork. I gotta have it explained to me. And on Monday, I'm gonna talk to them and have them explain it to me. And then I'm gonna do it live here. And I'll go live and let them tell you exactly as I ask the questions and I get some answers to this DNA thing so we can get it cleared up. Because from what I see, why does it take 9 months? When did he submit it? Why would he go there and volunteer to do the stuff, but then don't do it for months down the road? What sense does that make? What sense does that make? You did the police report on the 11th. That was 2 days later. They filled it out 2 days later and dated it. And you still didn't do no DNA? Say, I'll come back at a later date. Man, it's crazy, man. I swear. Hopefully he learns for this. Hopefully he learns from this. All I said is I looked it up and it shows if you wear a condom, there is a possibility of no semen being found. That's the truth. There is a possibility that if he wore a condom and slept with this woman, there is a chance there's going to be no semen. There's not going to be his skin and her nails because she wasn't fighting him when she was raped. So she wouldn't really have any skin and hair under her nails because she's claimed that she was incoherent and passed out. So she wouldn't have been fighting anybody. So I wouldn't expect her to have any DNA in her nails. Do you understand what I'm saying? Listen, that case is over with. That thing is done. They're not going to retry it. Thanks, Beverly. Beverly Johnson. Thank you. She said guilty. That's her verdict. I don't know if he did or didn't. I really don't. I pray to God he didn't. I pray to God he didn't. I don't want people, y'all got me wrong. Y'all think I want him to be guilty. I don't. I don't want that on him at all. I would never wish that on no enemy, no human being, ever. I don't want him to be guilty. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of red flags that have come up out of this whole one situation. From his text message, his tweets, from his doggone radio show interviews. These are a lot of red flags that have popped up that have been very similar to what has actually happened in an assault with this girl, in which he pled guilty to providing the beverages and got 3 years probation for. These are facts. So no one's trying to railroad him. No, well, maybe someone is by providing this information. Somebody is really working behind the scenes providing this information. I don't know how they're digging it up. I don't know where they're getting it from, but somebody is working overtime to get this information. Because I'm not digging it up. Not at all. I'm not looking, I'm not searching stuff for when they get me the information, tell me this is what they came up with next, then I report on it. That's all I do. Like I don't like Charlemagne on the radio. Like he's not my person I would want to listen to. I don't think he's a great interviewer. I don't like his style of interview on the Breakfast Club. I find it very disrespectful to women, especially black women. You know, he asked them the most ridiculous questions I've ever heard, disgusting questions I ever heard people do. And he said, in his defense, he thinks, well, they don't say nothing about Howard Stern. They say Howard Stern is good. Howard Stern does not have a black audience. Howard Stern audience is a bunch of punk rockers, white guys who do shock jocks and all that stuff. That's Howard Stern. I don't listen to Howard Stern. You know what I'm saying? And hardly probably any brother and anybody on here really listen to Howard Stern. You want to be the black Howard Stern? Brothers don't talk like that. Okay? Brothers don't talk like that about each other. They don't go that route because that's disrespectful. You can get hurt. Now, a lot of people know Howard's stick, but even Howard had to change and adjust to the times. He ain't Howard like he used to be Howard. Okay? Howard Stern had to fix himself. I mean, Charlemagne wants to be Star so bad. I mean, Star was like out his mind. I mean, he did some stuff, the Leah thing, everything. I mean, he was gone. I said, I can't believe he did that. You know, he was the shock jock. If any black shock jock it was him. This man blew up his own thing and dared them to fire him. Wouldn't leave till they called the cops. This man loved the press. This man was on CNN. Star did it, man. I was like, Star was the first rebellion rebel of this whole thing. He's a legend. I saw that and I said, this dude, he's the reason these guys getting millions of dollars. If it wasn't for Star, none of these guys are getting paid like that. Because of Star, these guys are getting $1 million jobs. Seriously. I didn't say that about no Star. Yep, it was Dre and all the rest of them. When did I say that, Jim Blouse? Or did someone else say that in the live chat? Never said that when he was on Everyday Struggle. I've never called that man out like that. Star is no. I know I hated to see him on Everyday Struggle because he couldn't be. Yeah, exactly. If I said people said that, it's not me saying it. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying he is. I would never say that about him. There was other people saying that about him. That's not me saying that. Why would I say that about him? Why would I try to put him on blast? All I ever did was give him props. Why do you think me and him communicate the way we do? So what is you talking about? No, I don't care. He was on this show. I love the first episode. Did you see that when he was on the Everyday Struggle? The very first episode, I applauded. I said, that's a great move. They got Star on the show. And what did happen after that? What did I tell you they did? And I said, oh man, I can't watch this. This is a neutered version of Star. I can't, they editing the show. And you could tell something's wrong. I'm like, he's not, I don't want to see Star not be able to be Star. And I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what it was. And then he came out on his show and explained that they're editing the show. So you got Star apologizing for stuff that it don't even seem like it's even that big of him for to apologize for. So it didn't even make sense. I'm like, why is he apologizing for that? He'd be like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I offend you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll be like, just apologize. Well, you ain't saying nothing. I'm like, God, is that sensitive on the set? So that really made me not like the show. And now that he ain't on the show, I was happy. So now I really can just wash my hands on it. I watched one Everyday Struggle this whole year. And you want to know what episode that was? Quentin Miller. Other than that, I have not seen an Everyday Struggle show. And apparently a lot of other people haven't either. It's like this. Show is like down here. When Joe was on the show was here. The show has lost like 45% of viewership. It's here. No one cares. So on that note, We out. And if we get some more information, don't forget to subscribe. And on Monday, I will and I shall. You hear me? I shall. I shall. And I promise. I shall call them back in that office and get the information on this DNA test. We'll do it live too. So you won't think I'm editing anything. I'll ask them the questions just as honestly as possible. I'm out.